everything will be then published on our website in our SOS cinema. So once again, everybody, welcome, and Marco, it's your turn, so I'm passing presenter right to you.
Great, thanks, Rastislav. Let me just get this application shared. Just a second. Here we go. I think everybody can now see the presentation. Good. So again, welcome everyone and good morning. My name is Marko Rihon and I'm the Marketing Director at 4D Systems in the Europe region. And I'm accompanied also by my colleague Daria Huth, who's our Field Application Engineer and Support Engineer in the Europe region.
Hello.
First, I'd like to just thanks SOS for putting together this webinar. It's great to get to present to so many people at once. The purpose really is to show you who 4D Systems is very quickly, and then give you a real technical perspective on how our modules work and how you can create fully usable graphics user interfaces within minutes using our display modules and software. So first, we'll basically just give you a brief product overview, just so you get an idea of what kind of display modules we have and graphics processors. Then we'll talk about our software tools, and mainly 4D Workshop 4 integrated development environment. We'll go really into depth on how it works, and we'll actually give you some real-time or real-world examples using some video, streaming video, and Daria will show you how these modules are programmed. And we're used to getting a lot of questions afterwards when we do our presentation, so we'll try to reserve a lot of time for questions and then answering these questions. But just before I talk about products, it's probably obvious to you already, but we basically design and manufacture easy-to-use display solutions. We have graphics processors, display modules with OLED and LCD displays. And we have all kinds of development tools for this product range, and then we have some accessories that some of our customers use in conjunction with our display modules. Basically, we want to be the global leader in embedded display solutions, and we've been around for some 23 years now. And for the last 7 years, we've been working on mainly display solutions. Our graphics display modules are used in many different kinds of devices. Basically, almost anything you can think of that could have a graphical user interface can utilize our display modules. Here you can see a few examples on the right side of the screen. And just before we go into the display modules, I wanted to show some products where our display modules are used. So here's a high precision timing decoder that's used in Formula 1 or NASCAR type races. And there's a display in this product, and this is an old AMOLED module that we used to have, a 2.83 AMOLED module that TAG Heuer and Codeless were using or are using in their products. We have some portable products where companies have used, like Intelligent, our 3.2-inch LCD display module, and this works with a touch screen, so it's kind of an iPhone type application. We have a company called Sonatron in Israel who has used our display module in an ultrasonic flow detector. This is a mobile device that measures corrosion in pipes and thickness of pipes. And they have some 3,000 or 4,000 of these devices made so far. It's a very high value device used in very harsh environments. And here's also one of our German customers who makes high precision welding machines. And here in the device, they've used our 3.2 LCD display solution to make their design faster and easier to do. So about our products, we have two main graphics processors at the moment, and the third one underway. And around these graphics processors, we've developed a number of different display modules, which have become basically very popular with our customers and users, and they often select a display module as a whole to use in their final solution rather than a chip only. So our Goldelox processor runs modules from very, very small OLED displays up to about 2-inch modules that we have. We even have a transparent OLED. And our PICASO processor runs larger modules with touchscreens, so we have module solutions from 2.4-inch diagonal to 4.3 with capacitive touch. So here you can just see the brief specs of the Goldelox processor. You can find all the details in datasheets and product briefs that we make available online. So I won't go into much detail about the processor. What is important is that the processor is really the heart of the display modules, and all the Goldelox display modules have this G2 postfix at the end of the name, so it's easy to identify what processor is running this module. As mentioned before, our Goldelox display modules we have 5 different ones. We have 4 different modules with an OLED display, so very, very small thumbnail-sized micro OLED display module up to a 1.7-inch OLED module. And these are very suitable for applications that need a small display and a nice sunlight visibility. And then we have a transparent OLED that's more a showcase module, but it can be fun to make some interesting applications with this particular module. And we have a 1.4-inch micro LCD module as well. Here's the PICASO processor. It's sort of an older brother, or bigger brother of the Goldelox. It has an extended level of features, and it's quite a bit more powerful. And it runs our P series of display modules, which you can see here. We have a number of display modules that are powered by the PICASO. These are range from 2.4 inches to all the way to 4.3 inches, and they support touch. Here you can see our 2.4 to 3.2 inch display modules. What's interesting about these modules is that the PCB footprint of each module is exactly the same. So if you're developing an application with a 2.4-inch module and you want to increase the size of the display sometime in the future, you don't actually have to do hardly any hardware development, and software is ported over automatically. Dario will explain to you about the software side a little bit in just a few minutes. So just to show a brief thing about the PTU modules, or the PICASO modules, we have basically packed these with a lot of very nice features that make them extremely popular. So our most popular display module at the moment is just 3.2-inch LCD. I think it's just something that everybody's used to that size. But just to mention a few nice features, you've got access to basically all the I/O of the PICASO processor here. We have a LiPo battery charge circuit here. We have a micro SD card slot here for all the media files and everything else, and the PICASO, of course. Here's our 4.3-inch display module, and it comes without touch, with persistive touch, and capacitive touch as well. At the moment, we have some longer lead times in the capacitive touch and the non-touch versions, but these are typically available from us, and this is very quickly becoming one of our most popular modules. With the PICASO, we also have a kind of a non-display solution or a display solution where you can develop an application on the PICASO and then run it through a VGA screen, and it supports up to SVGA resolution. We also have some open hardware interfaces, so probably many of you know Arduino and Raspberry Pi boards, and because they're so popular, we've also made some easy-to-use display modules and shields for these. So we have display shields for the Arduino for all of our smaller display modules. So you just plug these right on top of an Arduino, and then you have a display solution. We provide all the libraries and so forth to make it really easy to develop stuff with the Arduino. And we also have an adapter shield for the larger display modules. So you can basically very easily connect a large display module to an Arduino as well. And we have the same thing for Raspberry Pi. So you can connect our larger and smaller display modules to a Raspberry Pi very easily with this adapter, and we have all the libraries for you available online. And then we have some peripherals. These are development tools, so usually, well, you need to have these tools to program our display modules and connect them to a computer. So we have a programming cable and then kind of an USB to RS-232 converter. But these are used for programming the modules. And then we have a few peripherals. We have a small sound module when you need a little bit more space for your sound and wave files. And then we have a small micro drive module that you can use to do data logging and those type of applications. Of course, our hardware tools are nothing without software tools, so this is really the central part of this presentation. Everything, all the development with the display modules and our peripherals is done with the 40 Workshop integrated development environment. It's available for free online, so you can just go and download it. And it includes everything you need to do the programming with our modules. So there's an editor, a compiler, a linker, a downloader, and other tools that help you really get set, ready, and developing with our modules. The way it works is very logical, and Dario will shortly show you how it works in real life. It includes our display modules libraries for all the display modules, including very, very old modules. So it's really, really easy to use. And there are 4 different distinct software or kind of programming environments inside. So basically, our display modules can be programmed as a slave device to a host microcontroller, or alternatively, they can be programmed with our own graphics language called 4D graphic language, or for short we call it 4DGL. And basically, we have 3 different programming environments for 4DGL, which includes what's called the designer, where you just write raw 4DGL code to create your environment or your graphical user interface. 4DGL is very close to the C language, so it's very easy to learn if you're familiar with C. We have this visual programming environment called the Visi. This basically allows you to do drag and drop type graphical user interface design, and it creates you the 4DGL code while you're doing it, and you can then edit it yourself. So it basically allows you to very quickly design a graphical user interface and then start tweaking it by doing the coding. We have a Visi Genie environment, which is purely visual programming, so you just drag and drop objects onto the display and then connect them together, and you don't need to do coding at all. It does all the coding for you in the background, and this is what really makes us unique in the field at the moment, and Dario will really show you in very good detail how this environment works. And then we have a serial environment programming option where you basically send serial commands from a host processor to the PICASO Goldelox, and this allows you to basically use the module as a serial slave. The serial environment provides you with the serial commands that you need to send, so you can kind of make a mock-up of your environment in the Workshop4 IDE, and then it will provide you with the serial commands that you need to send from your host to get the desired effect. Ultimately, the benefits of using our display solutions is the fact that you can really make that they're really portable. So when you create a user interface for one display module, you'll be able to transfer it to any of the other display modules without doing any rewriting of the code. This also helps in reducing the risk of end-of-life displays. Most of our customers or users create applications that maybe are manufactured in 100 or 200 pieces per year, which means that it's not easy to secure a constant supply of displays. So if there's a change to a display that you're using, or it becomes obsolete, when you use our solution, it's very easy to port your application to a new display. So you don't actually need to rewrite your code. You simply need to get a firmware update on the display module, and you're done. So this is a very nice benefit. So it helps you keep secure when you're developing your applications. You don't have to do any low-level design when you are creating user interfaces with our display modules. So you can really concentrate on your application and getting things done very quickly. You can forget about the low-level design. And the risk of end-of-life and cost-effective and reliable supply are kind of interconnected. Most people are maybe not aware of this, but when you make low volume productions with displays, it's very difficult to secure supply of those displays for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. But we are able to do that with our concept. And now I'll pass you on to Dario, so he can give you the real technical nitty-gritty of how to do things, the more interesting part.
Hello, guys. So there's a mic to me. Thank you, Marco. And I will go on with the presentation.
Dario, Marco, just a minute. I would like to tell to all attendees, if you have a question, so please use Q&A function in the WebEx. It's in the right bottom corner, and you can write the questions there. Another thing is that still there are people who cannot find the button voice conference. I cannot hear, so I just will show very quickly how to find it. So just to 5 or 6 people. So if you join the webinar, there is a window appeared. If you would like to join the audio or voice conference, you should click on OK. If you do not, you have to do it manually. So if you come here, there is a quick start, and here is a big button, voice conference. You should click on it. Or there is another way how to find. There is a communicate, and there is an integrated voice conference, and you should here start the conference. So just very briefly to all people who do not have audio channel till now. It is also written in the manual we sent to everybody. And now I'm passing right to Daria. So Daria, your turn. Once again, if anybody has a question, please write to Q&A for many thanks.
So, hello everyone. I will start to share my part of the presentation. Ah, shit. So, The unique development process with 4D systems is what I call the rapid prototyping advantage. I will go into it now. It's first of all, there's an idea, and yeah, this idea will have some requirements, and then you have some possibilities what you can do, and time to market is for every customer important. So when you hear about this idea and you want to win this tender, then your success will depend on the time you need until you can serve the customer well. So time is the key, but you also always need to be competitive with your price. So what we recommend you is that you use Visi Genie or Visi Environment with 4D systems and IDE tools to create your first GUI before you visit the first time the customer. You might hear like he wants to measure something, then you just throw up a draft on a display, you visit the customer, and he can gain first impressions on your draft, what he can see, and you already show commitment to the project. Yeah, so it will be much easier for your customer to say yes because you already show something he can actually touch and see without even hiring you. And for you, the advantage as well, you already started the project. So if you go there and he says, yeah, please go on, you can just start doing the main changes on the draft you've done, for example, changing the colors with a few clicks, and maybe even sit there with the boss, with the customer, with whoever decides how the GUI may look like, and work with them together to save some time and money. And as a team, you can easily go to success with our GUI solutions. Well, the unique development process of 4D systems is the following. You would take a display with the programmer. You will start the 4D Workshop IDE and start a project or create a new project. You will select your display, the one you've chosen for your application, and then you'll have to decide what environment you want to choose, you want to work with. And it really depends on your application what is right for you. Therefore, I want to show you what are the different ways of every environment. I will go and show in the IDE what you will see, what is similar, and what you can do with it. But for now, it's like the time. So the quickest way to create a GUI is the Visi Genie feature. You can use widgets and drag and drop them into a display, a graphical picture on the in the IDE environment. And when you're finished with the graphical environment, you can just build your project. It will download the program onto the display module with the 4D programming adapter or cable. Then you will copy the file, and it will, in the same step, will copy the files onto the SD card. You will see that later. You insert the card into the display module, and you have a GUI available, just like that. Then you can also choose the Visi environment, which is actually both. It's the widgets you can drag and drop, plus coding. So you can see what's happening inside the processor. So you can really go deep into the graphics language we're using called 4DGL, but you can reduce the time you need to program your GUI because you have these widgets available. So with both of this, you can you build and create your files, load it onto the SD card, and put it into the display module, and you have again your application. The third environment would be the designer environment, which is just able to handle 4DGL code. There are no widgets, and you really have to write everything down manually. So then you create your support files, shovel all the files on the SD card, and you have a ready application you may use. The fourth environment is the serial environment. With serial, you can interface any host via serial connection to a 40 systems module. I recommend you to use the serial commander, which is included in the Workshop IDE, and there you can test the software for the serial commands you send to the host. Then you will write the software for the host. Then you can interface the display with your host, and you have your ready application. So all these ways may decide for you what's best for you. You have to find for yourself, for your application, what you like most. Some people don't even want to touch the designer because it's just writing code. Yeah? Some people just don't want to do this. Some people don't want to write this code because they have already their host they have to write the code for. So if they want to write no other 40GL language, you could use just serial commands with the serial environment, but you could also use Visi Genie because it will be interfaced with your host. And here you also have not to write any 40GL code. It will all work in the background. And it will make it very easy for you. So Visi Genie can run alone, stand alone. You can make applications which just run on the screen, like screensavers and stuff. You can, for demos, for a draft, yeah. You can bring to a customer, very easy to do. And for the serial, it's a bit more to do because you have to send serial commands to display, so you will need a host in this case, which sends the commands to display whatever you like on the display module.
Dario, may I disturb you?
Yes, for sure.
We have a question, so, hopefully for Marku. Csaba Bozar is asking about more information about Diablo. So Marku, maybe it's a question for you, for your part of presentation. Maybe you haven't mentioned the information about Diablo.
Okay. Yeah, we initially had it in the program for this event, but there's still a few little development things to do on the Diablo side, so we didn't want to go into detail on it after all, simply because we're not entirely sure of the full spec list yet. But it will be released soon, and as soon as we do the release of it, you'll get the full details of it. Through SOS and us as well.
Okay, so was it answer, Csaba? So the later or the more information you will get later.
Yeah.
Well,
so like I say, is that the Diablo will basically be a more powerful processor than the PICASO, and one of the key features of it will be kind of adaptable I/O on a fair number of the pins on the actual processor. I can't really say much more than that, but yeah, it'll be more powerful than and feature-rich compared to the PICASO.
Okay, so the simple answer is that coming soon.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, there you are. So your turn.
Okay, fine. So I hope for everyone is clear how the workflow is with 40 systems. For now, I want to show as well how easy it is to change the platform with 40 systems. Changing platform means, for example, I've been working with a 32 PTU or a 24 PTU, and now I just recognize that I need a bigger screen, and I want to move to a 43 PT or PCT, it doesn't matter which, or non-touch even, and how to change your application from one platform to another is really easy. So you just open your project you've done before for the old display, and then you open it, and then you have two possibilities to change the platform. In 40GL code, you just have to change the first line to the display you're using. Yeah, in this case, it would be the 24 PTU. You could change this here, just say 43 PT, and it will change. You have changed the platform. You can also use the IDE. You just go onto Projects in the ribbon toolbar. You click on this little button here, and this Change Display menu will open. Here you can select between all the display modules we support, and also you can change the orientation. You just confirm it's OK. Then all you have to do is compile your project, and it would be done for the new platform. But if you even want to load it directly onto the new module, you say comp and load, and it will be compiled and loaded onto the module. And that's all you have to do to change the platforms for these systems. So, Marco talked about the Workshop IDE already and explained the different environments. So what you see here is the third screen. Just to explain, because first you start a new project, you select your display, and then you select your environment. Yeah? So this is always the process with every new project you start.
Okay, Dario, we have a very short question.
Yeah, fine.
Which programming language is used to program the serial interface in the 4D system displays, or is it only click-it system?
It's just serial commands, but I will be able to explain it now. So I'm going into detail with this. I will start every environment. Well, in this presentation, just ask these questions at the end of this presentation, and then we'll open the workshop.
Okay.
But before I open the workshop and show examples how to work with the workshop, there will be time to ask any questions you like.
Okay.
But I think many of the questions will be answered in the following presentation foils.
Okay, many thanks.
Okay. So with the serial environment, it looks like this. When you start it, you have still the same ribbon toolbar. It all looks basically the same. It is here the field. You won't use this so much. We're working on something you can have create some pseudocode for serial, but at the moment you would just use serial commands. You just go to Tools, you select Tools, and then you will have the button for the serial commander. The serial commander is working like this. You just select here in the tabs what kind of serial command you want to send to the display. And for example, you can set pin high, set pin low, read a pin status, and you can here then select what pin you want to read and what you want to write. And you will see here the serial communication. So you will see a string of hex numbers, and these are the hex commands going through the pipes there. So basically, this is how the serial environment will work. We have also PDF files where there's all the commands is written and the protocol is written, and will describe in detail every serial command we have available. For the designer environment, we have first, like in every other one, the ribbon toolbar. We have the tabulator bar. You will find it in any environment. You can open several projects. Here you have the 40GL code, and here's the compiler output. Just look here, platform, line 1, micro LCD 32 PTU, and this just decides what platform you use. All the 40GL code is compatible with all display modules from 40 systems. Then you also have the compiler output here. So if any error while compiling occurs, you will see some warnings, error messages with details, and yeah. So just to go in small detail to the ribbon toolbar with the designer environment, you have the following tools available: the graphics composer, which is available for designer for Visi and for Serial. And this tool will enable you to easily add pictures and give objects and videos and stuff to your SD card and format it, and then you're able to read it. So you can store files even in the raw part of your SD card. So you may use 32 GB of the SD card, but you may need to store everything above 4 GB onto the raw part of the SD card. The second one is the PMMC loader. The PMMC is the firmware file we load onto the display. It contains information how the PICASO or the Goldilocks will talk to the driver IC of the display glass. Therefore, every display module has, like every PICASO display module has a PICASO processor, but they may have different glass. And even the baseboard, as Marco said before, is the same during the range of the PTU modules. How does it work? The PMMC file contains this data to communicate with the driver IC, but everything remains the same. So whatever code you write, what program you do, will be handled by the PICASO processor, and it will interpret the information according to the PMMC file for the specific driver IC of the display. For testing serial environments, you have the two terminal programs in 2 different speeds, and you even may start touch calibration. I will show this later, and this button is used if you own a micro VGA, so to start a micro VGA link. Then you have the comms. If you want to look for a display, if it's correctly connected. If it can't find a display, it will be red. If you click this button, it will turn yellow, and it will start scanning the port. And if you turn again, and then automatically will go to a blue button if it found a display. And in project, you can decide if you want to store the program in the RAM or in the flash. The difference between both is that if you load a program into the RAM, it will be deleted when you disconnect the display module from the power. So if you want to remain the code, your program remains on the display after a restart, after disconnecting it from the programming cable, then you need to program it into the flash. And then here you can decide what display you want to use and change it, as I explained before. With the Visi environment, it looks all a bit similar. You still have the 4DGL code here, and you can see as well, first line is the platforms, inherits, and the whole text. But here now you have the display module you selected for your project. So this picture will change accordingly to the display module you selected for your project. And below this, you have the object inspector. So you can click on objects you used, and you can change properties of it. And you can also change the forms. Forms is like pages in a book. So if you draw something in an empty book, like let's call it this time like a widget, then it's on one page. But if you want to have a second page, you open a new form and you drag your stuff again in it. But again, we will go into more detail about this. I will show you how the placing works and how you can change it. The difference to this environment is you have now the widgets available up here in the top. So just click on one widget, click in the display, and it's there. And then you can paste the code from the selected or all of the widgets placed in the form into the 4DGL code. You have many kinds of different widgets, and I will also explain it a bit more in the Visi Genie environment. And also you can see it's basically the same ribbon bar for common tasks. Then in the view, this has changed, or has been added here in this environment. You have the object inspector. You can like move out of the screen if you just want to work with the code and put it back in. And with form, you can see what objects are in the form, exactly with object locations as well. And you can make snapshots from this little screen here. So you can make a composition of widgets, and you can make a snapshot and show it to whom it may concerns. And you can reset the view to the standard. It happens like if you play around and you modify it however you like it, like put it on the other side and stuff, then you can reset the view. Then you have the tools. You see here you have the PMMC loader, the terminal programs, touch calibration as well, and also the micro VGA link. For the comms, it's the same as I explained before, and here as well. So basically, it's all the same with this environment as with the designer, just added the widgets feature in the object inspector. So using Visi Genie to quickly create fully functioning GUIs, you do this only with widgets. You don't have to line any code. So here it gets started to be a little bit technical. You just select, first of all, I explain the widgets, what we have here. So we have fancy buttons. You have more buttons in this one, and even this one you can modify in color, background, and you can even put a picture inside and stuff. Then you have the digits. You can like display a number. You can you have LEDs to indicate the status or whatever you think you want to display. Then you have the gauges, different ones, thermometer, and yeah, they're all customizable in Visi and Visi Genie. Then you have the primitives. It's just you just draw a circle and you can define the color of the circle, the rectangle, or the line, and so on. So and here's a primitive button as well, so you can write text in it as well. Then you have the inputs like knobs and track bars and keyboards and switches and dip rockers, and then you also have labels and strings and normal static text you can input. And then also for Visi Genie you have to place these two timers and audio separately. You haven't seen these two widgets in the Visi environment. It's only these in the Visi environment. This is because in the Visi environment you would place the timer or the audio files via your 40GL code. And this is pictures, videos, and this is a symbol for a new form. So if you want to extend your book of forms for another page, this is the button you have to press. And if you have a blank screen, you can place again new widgets in it. And that's basically the way it works. Is I placed already this track bar, and now I want to place a GOG. So I click here in the module, and then I have the scope in the gauge in this application here, and basically this is already a first application. You just have to link these two widgets with each other. So to do this, you will just go select the object you want to use, so object track bar. You go into events, so you select on changing event. This means while you touch the display and move the track bar, this is an on-changing event. And you will click on the three dots. You just say meter 0 set, because it's the 1 meter you have in the display. And you just select it and say OK. And then it will look like this. Basically, this is all you have to do to get this application running. And all this application does is you move up and down this track bar, and the gauges needle will go up and down. This is all you have to do to achieve this. Yeah, it's a good point to go into questions. There's some more foils to come, but if anyone has questions right now, please ask me.
Okay, Dario. So there was this one question about the language, programming language. I already asked, and this is the only one I have till now.
Okay, no, then it's fine. Then I just move on.
Okay.
So basically, what do we have to do when you want to start with working with 4D systems display solutions? You have to download and install the Workshop4 IDE. Yeah. Then what else is needed to get started? You need to install the drivers. You need to prepare your SD cards, loading a new PMMC, and you need to know where resources are. And so what is needed to get started is a programming cable or programming adapter, a Windows-based PC, and as well as the IDE. Optionally, you can get micro SD cards, and if you don't have a micro SD card reader, you need an SD card adapter, and you can also use a 3.7 volts LiPo battery. It needs to be a single cell LiPo battery, 3.7 volts. So downloading the Workshop IDE is, you can do it on the website. I apologize, I thought I'd changed the website. We just recently put up a new website, but basically the way is the same. The 4D Workshop IDE is still listed as a product, so you just click. I will share. I will just go online and share the my Chrome browser with you. So can you all see? I hope you can all see the website from 4D Systems. So this is a new website from 4D Systems. If you wanna, you can see all the display modules here. You can just scroll down and you find all our products. Also, Workshop IDE would be listed here. One way, the other way is just going on products and select here Workshop IDE, and you will go into the website from the Workshop IDE, and you can download it now. Actually, I have an announcement to make. Tomorrow, a very new version of 4D Workshop will be released. At the moment, we are at 4.0.2.1, and tomorrow we will be going for 4.3.4, and there are lots of improvements done. There are not more widgets at the moment, but this will come as the next release, which is also not so far away. We have tested this workshop a long time now, the new version, and we're certain that you all will like it very much. It will still look the same, and it's available from tomorrow. So I will switch back to my presentation. So just go there and, I'm sorry. If you want to download it, just click here on this symbol, and you will be able to download it. Here also you find the documentation, but I will go back into detail on this as well. So, yeah. You should check regularly for new PMMC files and workshop revisions. So, as said, tomorrow the new one will be released. So, if you download the workshop tomorrow, that will be better than today. So, you're already up to date. There's a user guide which is there. Even an installation guide is there. Most of you guys won't need an installation guide for Workshop IDE. Everyone has installed a Windows program, and it's as easy as every other program. But if you get started with the Workshop IDE, then you may use the user guide. But actually, we're just going through it, so you could skip it. But if you think you have still some questions left, or in a few weeks you want to again check what the answer is, then you can watch the video of the recording, or you go into the user guide. You also need to select your official 4D programming adapter and download its driver. There's a micro USB PA5 and the 4D programming cable. I don't know if there's someone from you which is using 4D displays a bit longer. We had other programming adapters in the past. These are still fine to use with all the new modules, so it's all good. And yeah, non-official programming adapters may harm your display and will void the warranty. So please don't use random lying around serial to TTL converter, USB to TTL converter, because we have some C components onto the programming adapter, and to generate the reset signal. And actually, we watched, and I work in support. I know that some people actually destroy their bootloader with using third-party programming adapters. I mean, the cables are not expensive, and you don't want to destroy your display just because of a few euros. Please use original programming adapter for your development process. So the SD card requirements. This is actually a topic which is coming up very often. For 4D systems display modules, or basically all 4D products, which is using SD cards, the file system must be FAT16. FAT16 has limitations in the file system itself. It's not a 4D thing. Originally, the maximum partition size would have been 2 GB. This is why you see everywhere pictures of 2 GB micro SD cards. But actually, we support SDHC cards up to 32 GB. With newer operation systems like Vista and upwards, you're able to format FAT16 up to 4 GB large partitions. The rest of the 32 GB, for example, or 8 GB, you can use as raw area of the SD card. So you can still access it. You can, if the SD card is inserted in the module, you can write to the non-partitioned part of the SD card. So you are able to store 32 GB amount of data. I really recommend that the micro SD, that you check your micro SD cards you have if they support the SPI protocols. You will find out very easily. Just be sure that you have the first partition on the SD card is not larger than 4 GB and FAT16 formatted. Then it will recognize it, even if they are larger. And if they don't recognize this on this basis, sometimes you just reformat it again. Maybe there was a mistake, but it might be that the micro SD card doesn't support the SPI protocol. So please check your SD cards if you want to make an application, for example, for your customer, or you want to show someone, convince someone that 4D is a good product. Please test your SD card before you go there. Just run one project, you will find out, like if you load a sample project onto the SD card and the module into the SD card and the SD card and the module, and you will see if it runs or not. So if an SD card cannot be mounted, check the file system, please. And yeah, basically what I said. And then SD card preparation. How do you prepare your SD card? We provide you with a tool which is called Removable Media Partition Edit Tool, short RMPET. This can split large SD cards into many partitions, into raw areas and stuff. You can delete partitions, and you can create new ones. If you use SD cards larger than 4 GB, or you're using SD cards larger than 2 GB, but using Windows XP, for example, or below, then we recommend this tool to create partitions, and then you will still be able to access this. standard formatting you can just do in Windows, so just format it in FAT, and this will be a working one. So to download and install Workshop4, to download and install an PMMC file on the display module, please look online for the latest PMMC version, especially if you start a new application, a new project, or so on. Download, install the latest PMMC, and unpack it. They will come in a zip. Just unpack the zip, start the PMMC loader, select the COM port here, and then you select in the location where you saved this PMMC file, you will just select it, and then click on load, and you will see erase, and then it will download the PMMC file to the display module. Always, please wait until the progress is finished. Some people get impatient. It goes quick, yeah. It usually goes quick, but I've heard from some customers that I canceled this because it wasn't quick enough for some reason. I will show it goes quick, and this way don't interrupt it, because you may harm the bootloader of the display. Yeah, so it might be not recognizable. Then you get an error message, and it's not nice. So don't interrupt the programming. You wouldn't do it on other controllers neither. Then we have, for every display module and adapter we sell, we include this a 5-pin cable. This can be easily interfaced with any of the displays, and we have this adapter for Arduino, for Raspberry Pi, but it's also easy to connect it to a breadboard. So if you have your development process on breadboard, if you like that, then you can even connect the display easily on this, and you can still hold it in your hand, and so on. It will be also easier for you if you want to put the display into a housing in a case or anything, and the actual host PCB, if needed, can be a bit further away, or you can just power the module through this cable. Resources are really important to know where to find them, and resources are the manuals we provide on our website. You will get a PDF file from us at the end of the workshop you can download. It contains all those links you will see now, and also some of the information has been in the presentation before. For the designer, they're important. There are always 2 documents important. Depends on the platform. So you have the PICASO and the Goldelox 40GL internal functions. Yeah. So internal function means for this processor you have some functions which you don't have on Goldelox. So if you work on Goldelox platform, you work with this document. If you work on PICASO, you work with this document. And in addition to this, doesn't matter on which year, is the 40GL Programmer's Reference Manual. I really recommend that you try samples. Where to find them? I will show you where to find them later. So if you program in C, Basic, Pascal, anything like that, you will feel like home with 40GL programming language. I'd say it's probably like 80 to 90% as C code. You will read it and you will understand, and the rest you will find in the 40GL Programmer's Reference Manual. If you want to use the Visi Genie environment, just go and download and read the Visi Genie user guide and the Genie reference manual. But also the app notes are really important. I really recommend it. The most of the app notes we provide at the moment are for Visi Genie. It will really show you how to work with it. So I recommend everyone, whatever environment you choose, go through the app notes and try the samples. And reference manual and user guide. You will find here also the serial protocol, which is Genie working with. So for the Visi environment, it's a bit more you have to read because it's still the PICASO and the Goldelox 40GL internal functions. Yeah, you have the 40GL and then the Visi user guide. Because you have this widget functionality here, it's a bit more, but at the end you program less. So if you're familiar with programming and you want to have control about the code, but you don't want to code too much, and you let us ease your programming up, then I recommend you to use Visi. It's also the programming environment of my choice, as well with Visi Genie for simple things. Also here, samples available. Yeah, I'll show you later how to access those. Then for the serial environment, we provide also the serial command set and for PICASO and Goldelox. Also try the serial commander. Many things can be really quickly sent. You just copy paste the command. Like you send via serial command everything to the display as you receive a result you like, and then you copy and paste the command, and then you can just send it from the host. You will see you have the same result as you emulated with the serial command. We also have libraries available for PICASO and Goldelox for Arduino, for C and Pascal, as well for PICX. So you can download these, are all on GitHub. And yeah, so now's the time for questions.
Okay, there are some. So there is a question from Mr. Hutira, and he will asking, will a new workshop support simple numeric keyboard widget? QWERTY keyboard is cumbersome for some application.
I will go and show the QWERTY keyboard in Visi Genie, but you can create custom keyboards just as you like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I know, and I can tell that there is also a simple numeric keyboard widget there.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Simple numeric. I will go and show. Yeah, you can make customs. You have numeric. You have a keyboard pre-made keyboards. I will show you examples. We go through all this.
Yes. So the simple answer is yes.
Yes. Yes.
Another question is, do you have any experience in using such a kind of displays in devices used in vehicles? This is harsh environment. For example, one of them is temperature.
Regarding, I will refer to the data sheet of the specific module, module specific and platform specific, what temperature range is supported. Generally, yes, I know that some of the displays have been used in cars, and they work there very well. But we don't supply automotive specs on our display. If this is the question he had, basically, yeah, it's working, but we don't have automotive specs.
Okay, and have you already showed information concerning this programming language in the serial interface?
Sorry, what?
This is one question because I haven't marked it as an answer. This concerning this programming language in a serial interface.
Yeah, as I said, it's serial commands basically, but I will show.
Okay, so I will mark this question as answered.
Okay.
There is another question. What is the maximum frame rate that can handle the PICASO processor?
In showing videos, it is probably it depends on your application. Like what else is the PICASO doing? Yeah, if you're just showing video, you can show video. You will recognize that it's not 100% fluent, but it's okay to show, and you will see it as a video. But it should have like 5 frames more to be, maybe just 3 or 4 frames more to be absolutely fluent. The Diablo, I've seen it already, is able to play videos marvelously without any problem.
Okay, all question answered.
Yeah.
So you can continue.
Okay. So need to start some programs. So can everyone see this little video?
You have another window over this one. Okay, now it's perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is the setup I have here. So this is not a picture, this is a video. This is basically the startup package I would recommend for everyone. We have here the Micro PA5, which is the programming adapter. Like I said, you have this flat cable of the display. And then here's a 32 PTU module. It always comes with a little guide, if you get it, which explains what IOs are where, and generally what you need and where to connect everything. So this is the way you receive the display. So then an SD card is necessary as well. So just connect the Micro PA5 to the USB port, and then you can connect the display, yeah, to this, to the cable. So now it's supported with power, and you may see that that you have now it's now saying that it doesn't find the SD card. Oh, yeah, drive not mounted. So if I insert the SD card, I pre-programmed this display already, and then it will find a program. Yeah. So yeah, there's so much to show now. I will start now the Workshop IDE. Can you see now the workshop?
Yes, we can see.
Can you see everything inside the window? Yeah? Oh. Okay. So, this is how you start. So, 4.0.3.4, latest workshop version available from tomorrow. Here on the side, you can see recent projects. You can just use those, and when you start already a project, and you can here as well open, save, and even zip an open project. You can set up your printer and print the screen you have on your display, and then you also have like an options menu where you can say what reporting level you like to put out the compiler, like errors only, warnings and errors, or everything. Then for the designer, and yeah, well, when you start the workshop, I clicked this message away. I don't know if you could see it. Warn if destination / when starting workshop. Yeah, 40GL will access the flash quite often. Yeah, so it warns you that every flash has a lifetime of circles of how often you read and program, write it, basically. And you can, this warning, you can switch it off here. And here you can change the view of your editor, so you can just change the color as you like or as you're used to. So I prefer the default one. Plus, well, so you can't. Environment, yeah. Backup files and saving, open files collapsed means all functions you've created are not expanded, they are collapsed. And you can also select here how it may look like, yeah, so you can decide how you want it to be. For the Genie feature, you can select here the baud rate, yeah, how you want to be interfaced to the host, yeah, or how you want the Genie application and the display want to be interfaced to the host topic. And then you can also set the sound buffer. If you want to play sound files, then I recommend usually, like, if you have normal MP3 like files you want to play music, I recommend that you put it up to 2048. It's not necessary, but I recommend it. For serial, you have the serial environment initial baud rate to the screen, and you can have a delay, and also for Goldelox special features. For Visi, same message with the flash, and then you can say default destination when you save the program. You can decide flash or RAM, depends on you really. If your GCI file is getting greater than 200 megabytes, you get a warning. The GCI file will save all the picture information created with your display. So everything is in one file. You won't get like thousands of pictures on the SD card. You just have like 2 files, GCI and done. And these contain the information. If you have audio files, they will be separate. If you have any text files you want to read out or whatever, then they will be separate as well. But what you do with the workshop will be inside the GCI file. So you can also adjust the size. Yeah, it depends on your needs. So yeah. Then samples you will find here. Right on the left side, you can just click on samples. You just may decide your platform. Yeah. So you can see here Goldelox Designer platform, Goldelox Visi platform, Goldelox Serial platform. So they get then examples, yeah. Here Arduino, C, Pascal, PICASO. For Designer, for PICASO, we have also how to handle lots of kinds of things, and you have the same for all the platforms and for all our processors. Yeah, you can access the code base for the systems, and here you can find the app notes as the direct links to the web page with app notes. Yeah, so click on this. Can you see the browser? Can you see the browser now?
Yes, we can.
Beautiful. So the app notes can be found normally on the website, and you just click here on app notes, you get the same view, but you can access this from the workshop as well. You can see here lots of app notes available, yeah, and here these are for the platform Visi Genie, some for Visi, some for Designer, General, but this is only addition to the samples provided within the IDE. So that's not all. You can learn stuff, but here these are actually documents with text and not only the program, yeah. So you can even just go through reading this document and then doing it in the workshop at the same time. So then if you want to start a new project, you just go on new, and then you select the module type you want to use. In this case, I have a 32 PTU connector, so I will select this one, and I have this in this direction on my table. So I just clicked on the display module, so I rotated it. So I just clicked on next, yeah? And now I can choose what environment I want to use. Well, we can just go in the for the GL in the designer environment. You can see you can just print this to the display module. I will. There's no SD card needed for this because you don't have text. So I will just compile and load this project. You have always to save the file, and yeah. So I'll turn the other way around. So you can see hello world, and this is all what you need to enter a string onto the display module. Wow. So, and so hello world written, you just say print a string hello world to the display. You use the landscape. You can change it here, and yeah. So I'm going back for the designer. Yeah. Oh, hang on. You can go here, see designer, playing a video, touch detection, displaying an image on 4D. This actually updated, I think, also tomorrow. Managing RAM and flash. General, yeah, partitioning micro SD card into FAT and RAW, but now here, let's say, playing a video. You should see as well now this application node. It will explain you in detail how to create it. So here you see the graphics composer. It will explain how the graphics composer works. Like you want to use a micro SD card in RAW area so you can have more space. Yeah, and then you have these commands. You can just use these commands, and then you can basically start playing a video just with this kind of code. This is all what you need to play a video in 4D. For general information onto the 4DGL code, as said, you can just scroll down here. Then you can find the 4DGL Programmer's Reference Manual, which will be very useful, as said, to everyone. You can find here the language style, yeah, variables and constants. It will explain everything. It's like C, as you can see probably already. So everything explained here in this document. Yeah. So most important expressions and operations is you see here. It's like address modifier and multiplications and like arithmetic multiplication here, and yeah. So here you can find also the libraries and the information on the serial environment. But let's go back to the workshop and to the video. I want to create a new project with the 32 PTU, and I will this time I will use the VC. So here, the VC, you can see this code here is added to get the micro SD card image, yeah, so, to access the micro SD card. So you just uncommand these two lines, and also the code to mount the SD card is already done. That's all you have to do. And also here, handle file load image control. You can see here, no name to .dot and no name to GCI, because I didn't name this project. You can see here project name and just ITA, no name to, and then it will save the picture information within these two files. So here gfxset is a 4DGL command. You will find as well in the 4DGL reference manual, screen mode landscape. Yeah, if you wanna, you can change it as well when you go into project. Yeah, you make project reversed, and yeah, it will actually update it. And like with the next compile. And so you have the loop here. Yeah, I will go back. Train, landscape. And here you can enter your code in the loop. Yeah. So I will explain how this works with widgets right now. So let's say you want to place a gauge. So you just click on the gauge. You click here onto the display, and you can scroll and scale and move everything. So with the example of this scale, I want to show how you can modify the gauge, for example. Down here you have the gauge, the name of the object, and then you have the caption. The caption is what's said here, written here. So I will just write pressure, and you see pressure is here. So you see here color zone 1, 2, 3. There's 3 color zones here. You can change it by clicking the 2 dots. You can select any color you like, and you will see already the change in the display. For the color 2, you can do the same for color 3 as well, like however you like it to look. So you can also change the font and the color of the caption. So let's say you want to change this to bold, and you want to have it picture size 12, and you want to have a different font. You just select it, and you can see, here we go. Then the labels font you can change as well. These are the numbers just next to it. So you can change the size. Let's say 10, and it's bigger. And you can even click here as well. Yeah, so it's much better, bigger. So then you have here the max value is 100. You can see here. If you, for example, have an analog meter, which is often, let's say, you have 1024 values, yeah, you can even change it here, yeah. So then you can see it. But then you should adjust the writing on the size of the labels, and let's do this smaller. So, and you have 1024 values now here. I will insert this code now into for the GL. So paste the code. So to show this code like it is here, gauge like it is here, it's only this needed here. Image set word, you just show this this gauge, and on frame is always the amount of values you have. So if you have frame 0, it will show 0, the needle at 0, and if you have frame 512, it will show 512. So in your programming, you can like change this to a variable, and you just put in the number you like to have there accordingly to your needs, and then it will show it on the value there. And this will update the picture shown on the display. So you would do everything with other forms, for example, with this as well. So I would go to Widgets, System Media, select a new form. You see, it's not gone, it's just in a different form. So I'll go here in Form 1, there it is. I change the form again, second form, and then I can start creating, for example, a button. Yeah. So here we go. I have a button, win button. I can modify this button as well. Let's say, for example, in color, let's make it yellow. Yeah. Here we go. Then this button name is win button 1. Caption win button 1. Let's say back, for example. So then you can have as well a status when off. Yeah, red. You can have a caption when it's off, and you can also change the font for it. So, for example, off. So again, you can see it got like a little button here on the top, so you have more states. Yeah. So when it's off, then it will say off, and when it's on, you can say run on. You can say on. Yeah. But only when it's on. So now it's off, not touched. This is one way. And you can put in, yeah, let's open a new form. And let's go to the question with the keyboard. So if you want to place a keyboard, you just click on the keyboard. You place the keyboard here. And you can also adjust this keyboard in size. But you can also just click here in the Object Inspector on KT30. Then, hang on. So I will save this program first, and no name 2. Yeah, no need. So here, now I can decide what keyboard type I have: QWERTY, numeric, cell phone, or just empty, and I can make custom ones as well. So I hope this answered the question. If I select a numeric one, I just say OK. You can see here in the display a numeric keyboard. And yeah, so that's all you have to do with the keyboard. I can just take this keyboard and I can paste the code of the keyboard here, and then every button has a touch functionality. So every button has a number assigned. So if you want to place, I will open a new form. I want to place, for example, a picture. I just click in the display. I can select a picture, and for example, from a LiPo battery. And here we go. The picture is here, and you can modify this picture. So, and then for the picture, you can even enter the code here as well. You just have to enter the functionality. So all these objects in Visi are really easy to place, and then you build your functionality of the code around it. So as you're used to programming C, but what we take off you, the workload, is if you would have to display a picture or displaying a gauge, then you would have to write a lot of commands. Even in 4DGL, in Designer, you would have a lot of commands to type in to make this happen. But with the Visi environment, we took all this workload off you just to have 2 lines to add to your code, and you just decide, for example, which frame or keyboard button got shown. And here, very easy, is the image show. So you will just handle this image, and you just show an image, and it will show the image. If you have more images to show and you want to run through them, you can even say pause, and you put like a value of milliseconds in between. You can, let's say, 500 milliseconds, and then you add another picture, and you have a slideshow. Yeah. Just open a new form, add another picture, yeah, or you go back in the form and place the picture above, yeah. So you scale this, yeah, and you want to add a new picture. You just click here. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And yeah, best always to create forms for all the objects you have. It doesn't matter how much forms you have. Yeah, it's just easier to deselect objects and then add new stuff into the form, and sometimes easier to locate as well every object. So then you have labels and strings. If you let's go. You have a string. You want to place a string. Here's a string video. A string area. So if you define this area, every string sent from the host or from whoever will be shown here. And yeah, you can decide the background color, the foreground color, and the font of the string as well. Yeah, then I will go into the serial environment. So if you are in the serial environment, you have the following tools available. You have the SPE load. This is really important to upload on display modules new software. This is needed. You just click it. You will see the progress. And now you will have the SPE screen coming up. Yeah. Now you prepared the display for serial usage. Yeah. So, and then you can go, if you see this screen and it's connected to the IDE, like here you can see the 32 PTU, yeah, version 3.4, microSD card, 7.4 gigabyte, and I open the serial commander, and yeah, and then for example I can say GFX clear. It will clear the screen, yeah. Then let's say I wanna yeah, show a button, a GFX button. You define the location. I just type anything just now, and yeah, then text is test, and then you can send this to the display. Oh. You can see it here. It's a small button. It's really a small range just now. Yeah, hello?
Yes, we can see it, but it's too small.
Yeah, if now it's bigger, let's put it here on 10. Yeah. You will see it's always writing just over. Yeah, it's not deleting. When you want to delete the screen, you just send GFX clear. And for example, if you want to, let's say, draw a circle, yeah, from 13. Yeah, it's really hard to see. It's a really thin line. Can you see it? But it's drawn a circle. Is this possible to see?
No, no, we cannot see the circle. Maybe it's too small. Oh, yes, there's something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very thin line. It's just a 1 pixel line in this case. So let's see. Maybe I'll just make it yellow and. Now it's better to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
So. And yeah, and then circle filled as well. You can have yeah, you can put some data in it, and yeah, 50, it was blue, send it, and then you have a filled one. Yeah, you can do it with you can do it with lots of objects, yeah, polygon objects, and you can assign all the values in it, and then you can send it, and it will display it on the screen. Then you also can you're able to handle text files from here. You can handle media, so you can media flush out of the buffer, and yeah, you can initialize the media, and you can read a sector, read a byte, read word, yeah, set sectors as I said before. And then image, you can image darken, which makes this effect an image has been pressed, for example. And you can enable and disable images, and check if an image got touched. And yeah, so everything has specific values. And for files, you can create files, you can read files, and for sound, you can just play sound files located on the SD card. So here you can define the buffer size. You have some touch options like touch detect region. It's like if you don't want to detect one region on the screen, you can just say that the region you want to detect touches in general is specific for an x1, x2, epsilon 1 and 2, so to a specific area on the screen. And you can pull if there was a touch, yeah. And well, and you have other functions like pin low, pin read, as shown before. So then you can see the communication between this computer and the display. You can see that the display will say you send GVX clear, and it got acknowledged. Yeah, it was a response here. You sent this, and then the response was acknowledged. Yeah, so much for the serial commander at this moment.
Dario,
Yeah.
I have one question
from
our customer. I saw I2C functionality. Can a module be used as I2C bus monitor? I mean, showing what's running on an I2C bus where you plug the module as a slave. Do you have a code written for it?
It's only I2C master.
Mm-hmm.
So you can interface I2C sensors and display sensor data from I2C on it. This is possible, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This would be done, it's not possible with Visi Genie, but it's possible with Visi and Designer tool, and, well, in serial anyway, with your host. Depends on your host. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, any more questions there at the moment?
No, this was the only one.
Okay, fine. So I'm going back into the for the workshop here. Here's actually you can reach the RMPT tool I talked about earlier. So I will ask you to be administrator because you have to write to the file. So is this a shared window, or do I have to share this separately? I think you have to share it. Yeah. Here, can you see this tool now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So you can decide the physical drive, yeah, which you have here on your computer, and then you can change the whole thing. You can also see here the display, yeah. So I will pull out the SD card, put the display aside, and insert in a SD card reader. And it will come up. Press refresh. Then it will come up here as an SD card, and you can see here FAT16. It is at the moment, and non-FS. You can see no file system, so raw is the rest of it. Yeah, this is how I handle the SD card right now. I go back to the workshop. Then yeah, this PMMC loader it's shared already. Good. You can here select your COM port you're using. Then you can select the PMMC file. Click on this, and you can just open the file location. And yeah, that's basically all you have to do to load your PMMC files. Also comes with the IDE, so you don't have to download it separately. The terminal program is just looking like this, so you can send a hex string, and it will send it to the display and show the whole communication. Same for other speeds, yeah. And you can perform touch calibration. So now I'm in the mode here. This is a 40GL program, which is loaded on the display, and you can see here now it is already on the display. No SD card is needed for this to perform this action. So you just click here, say OK. You click here, then you can draw, yeah, whatever you like, and you touch exit, so it's done. You just calibrated the display. That's all you have to do to do the calibration, and you can see that you reach it out of the IDE. Then you have the same as the COM ports here, and see the availability of the display. So I will go now into the Visi Genie environment, and this is where we will spend the rest of the time for today. I hope, except you have more questions to the other environments right now.
Okay, there is one question. Is it possible to debug program in the Workshop IDE?
I mean, it is sure it's possible. If you have problems compiling, I mean, in real time, like debugging, it's not possible. But you can just connect the display with the programming cable to your workshop, and you can throw up the code you have. You don't have to disconnect it every time. You can, if you have a different serial communication going on, you can use the second serial port on the expansion header to communicate with the host, for example. But this will be done with Designer and Visi. For Visi Genie, it's just using the normal. Well, you can do live debugging with the Visi Genie, but because you don't have the code, but you can actually see what's going on and work with all the functions of the Visi Genie. Yeah, I hope this replies the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is another one. How can I make a simple communication between a module LTD and PLC, for example, via serial?
Via serial, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
just a quick thing to add regarding this PLC question. You're not necessarily tied to using serial commands per se. You can create 40GL code in the display and then send information via serial commands from a PLC or any host that triggers 40GL programs on the module. And you can, capture data and that type of stuff, and then display it in a graphical manner on the display. If you get what I mean.
Well, I can say something to this. This is the PICASO is a controller, like everyone else, even your host. Yeah, maybe your host is more powerful. Maybe your host is not so powerful, like a PIC, for example. I mean, like a 16F PIC, for example, or an Arduino board, anything which is rarely able to handle display language, but this is actually able to handle I2C, 2 serial ports. You have lots of IOs you can use, so you can write a whole application just using the display. You don't need a host, yeah. And with the PLC, for some, you just need the display. You don't need the PLC. Just make optocoupling, protect the display from the harsh environment, and you're good to go. Like, you can just have a button which triggers an I/O on the back on the display, just without using any other host. Maybe it's a good time to just show one little example for serial communication. This is a demo I've done a bit back. We have here a thermal printer, a development board, and then you have an old display here. Actually, this display is an old one, but it doesn't matter. The technology hasn't changed. The program running on this display can run on any new display. This is what I mean with changing platforms. So I have the I/O here in the back of the display, and all I'm using is power and serial commands. And so here I have an SD card inserted. It's reading a text message, a text file, and modifying the file, and accordingly can print now via serial commands with thermal printer text without being any other host controller. So you can do ready applications just with the display. Surely depends what you want to do, but you can do plenty of stuff. So it will just communicate via serial with anything. Like here, this is the master-slave communication, and you just push serial commands and to the printer. So yeah, this is just a little example of what you can do. Yeah. Does this reply the PLC question? And any other question regarding the functionalities as master?
No, there's no other questions.
Okay. And then we'll zoom back in, because now it's going to be a bit more fun. So we don't have to code anything anymore, which is really cool on 4D Systems display. So if you don't have interest to learn 4D GL language, we can still provide you with a tool to make really good looking GUIs. How to do this, I will show now. So I just want an application. Let's one application in 2 minutes. Let's say I have this gauge, yeah, and I scale this. Then I need an input. Yeah. Doesn't matter which one. So this is all I want to show. Yeah. So I click on this, and I go here on events. I say on changing. Click angular meter set. I say OK. This is all the functionality I need at the moment. I say build. I want to save the file on your hard drive, so please give it a name. It will create all the files necessary. And here, at this stage, it will ask you to insert the SD card. I already removed the SD card. I will insert, and it's in my card reader right now. So select it here. So you see here 3.53 gigabytes. It's just the first partition, which is needed here to save those. So for saving the GCI and DAT files, you need the FAT partition. For the rest, you can even use RAW. So say OK. Use this. It's on there. This way we show mounting. And well, drive now mounted because I didn't insert the SD card yet. So I insert the SD card. You can see here, this is what I just done in 2 minutes. I move this track bar, and you can already see how this just works. Yeah. If you say now, okay, I don't like this. This is not so nice. I want this piece red. It's the same as I've shown you before. I make it yellow or orange. So I make it orange, and I say build. You have to put out the SD card again, insert it into the card reader, and I say yes. Save the information. program is already on the display. Insert the SD card, and here we go. See, it's yellow. So this is a good experience of using Visi Genie. But this is not all, not at all. And therefore I want to load a little demo onto my display now. It's called the big demo. So I go to samples, I go to PICASO Visi Genie, and I want to load the big demo. So here we go. The big demo is open, and as you can see, you can still modify this demo as you like. I just recommend to save it in a different name when you do some modifications, so you always can return back to the original state of the demo. I will now say build. So as you've seen before, put the SD card out, insert this SD card in my card reader. Wait until the support is finished, the creating of the support files. Yeah, it says drive not mounted. There's still the program loaded onto the module. Okay, so now I'm gonna save this data on the SD card. I don't know why it's not sharpening. It's just, oh yeah. Okay, that's great. So it's loaded on the SD card and on the display. It's just waiting now that I insert it. And you see already the demo is loaded. And now I want to present you the GTX feature of Visi Genie. You can find it under Tools and here GTX. So this is showing all elements you used in your environment. You can enlarge this display so you have lots of space for more buttons and gauges and knobs and everything here. But here you can see serial commands going from the host, which is my computer, into the display. So I can change the form, and you see what serial communication is going back and forth. And I can just go through every form, and you will see it's really easy. So I want to, for example, video, yeah. Start the video by starting timer 0. I will timer, yeah. Say run, set. So this is how video looks on 40GL. I hope this replies also the question how the video functionality is of the display. I think it's enough. So then let's go to form 0, for example. We have also sound here. I want to trigger the sound. Yeah. As you can see, you can move all these elements also to something you like, and just say play set. Yeah. So we'll start playing music. We'll put the volume on 100, so you might list something. I hope you can hear that there's music being played. Actually, the amplifier on the module is 1 watt. The speaker is not as good, but if you, because of the space, obviously, but you can connect even another speaker which handles 1 watt, and you will hear it's really loud. So, so you can stop it just saying stop, set, it's done. Here in this form 1, I can you have here the win buttons. You can make a query, so ask if it got pressed. Yeah. Win button. Yeah. Yeah. See, there's a win button change, and you see it's going on. So the same. Yeah. So then you can even set it from here. Then let's go to the next form. And you can, if you the custom digits, you can just set a value, let's say 100, and set it. You can see here in the custom one, it's 100. And the flat digits here, let's say 200, and you see 200. Yeah. So you can even set the LED. Yeah. So set it's going on, set it's off. Click here, it's going on, it's going off. And all the time you do this, you see it's logging all the serial communication. In form 3, you can see here, let's say, here's the slider, let's set it, you can see it's set. Let's go down, it's down again. Excuse me. Didn't actually look on the screen here. Up the top is the gauges, so let's say here 50. It's here, there, and then here again, set, yeah. And then thermometer, let's say 130, set. Oh, it's out of range. This is what you see when you didn't define the object to this range. So let's say 100, and you see it's there. So you just see that it's not like a missing picture, but it's you didn't define this temperature to go as high. Yeah, so it's 100 for 100%. You can go and like accordingly you can go down. Then you can go. Let's go on for form 4. If you the angular meter, you can go here as well. Let's say 40, set it, and it's set. And you always see the communication. So I want to clear this, so you can see it all the time. Set is being sent, and it's set. I can do the same here for the cool gold gauges. See 100, and it's set. So I show the next form, which are primitives, yeah, and so they're, yeah, it's static. So it's just in the background. You can use any objects in any color and just place them there and place a button in front of it, yeah, or behind. So let's go on form 6. You can go here and let's say you just move here. This one, then you make a query. You can see it here. There, it's moved. Set it here. You can see it's here as well. So then I can trigger the rotary switch as well to a position I like. Yeah, or I go here and set it manually. In form 7, here we go. Here are these meters. So I can set them, or I can set them here, and as this one as well. And I can touch the dip rocker going on and off. Same here. And for the dip switch. In Form 8, it shows keyboard communication. It is, you can see every button pressed will trigger an event sent to the host. You can see. Clear. That seems better. So in Form 9, you have the numeric one. Yeah. And then you have Form 10. So hello world. And if I send a different string value, yeah, then it will disappear. Same here. Yeah. So in Form 11, we just watched the video, and yeah. The sound. Sorry.
Just a little word about the video.
Yeah.
I think the frame rate we can reach is close to 24, 25 frames per second, so it looks quite fluid. In fact, it's kind of the cinema frame rate that you normally get in cinema, or used to at least back in the good old days. And yeah, the video on this webinar doesn't look that great because the webinar frame rate is so slow.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions on Visi Genie and how to use this?
There is one question, not regarding the Genie, but there is a simple question: if it is possible to pull out the SD card anytime you are working with a module.
Good question. I don't, as on the PC, I would never recommend anyone to just put an SD card out of wherever it's inserted, because you never know if anything is just writing to the SD card. So it is never good to just undo the SD card on anything when it's active. So no, I don't recommend this.
Yeah, because the people they saw that you are just pulling out the SD card without turning off. When you adding something, you change the color of the meter or something like that. So this is the logical question.
Yeah, for sure. But in this case, there was nothing running anymore. It is always, it's accessing the data from the SD card. And when you don't have a different action, like the video wasn't running in the same time, and then it's even just reading in the moment, yeah. But for your applications, for example, you might write something to the SD card. When you're reading, it's okay for the SD card, but maybe the display may crash, yeah. So if you restart the program, so it really depends on your applications how you handle this. If it's just the reading applications from the SD card, I don't see a problem with the SD card, but the program might crash trying to access the SD card, which is just disappeared or got some rubbish in the moment. It tried to read the SD card and you pushed it out. Generally, like you have seen, this wouldn't be a problem. But in your running applications, like if you have done something and there's reading and writing actions on the SD card, for example, sensor values or anything, I wouldn't recommend to just remove it. In this case, it doesn't matter because I just show you simple demos. It's not critical or anything, the data.
Okay, thank you. And there is another question. I'm not sure if it will be clear for you, but there's a question that why only 14400 bytes, so 40,400 bytes for code size? This is quite limiting when writing applications.
Depends on what you used to. As we can provide you with very short commands to display, for example, an image. Yeah, yes, it's not so much, but you can have huge GUIs with it. It's you just have to take care about your communication buffer sizes. It's a very specific questions to your application. It always depends on how much functionality you want to have, how much coding you do. There, you actually, if you look into the 40GL reference manual, you will see that we actually have lots of commands which you can do in one line, which you would need several lines in C, because you can't put it in one line, in one statement. So save even more of this space on the controller.
But what you can also do is you can create kind of a parent program that's very simple. Let's say on the ROM, and then subroutines that can be very large and complicated. You can save on the SD card, and you can then basically have this. How would I say? The program at the top level just trigger and launch the kind of more complicated programs that are saved on the SD card. So basically, you could argue that you have almost unlimited space for your code.
Yeah. Here, for example, you can here also say boot micro SD card. So bootstrap program to load Genie program off micro SD card. Yeah? So you can place in 40GL it would be for exe files, but go into which display doesn't matter as usual. So if you go into project, you can say RAM or flash. You can save here the program, like a normal structure, calling that data like sub-programs from the SD card. So you just store, let's say, the index, the main program in the flash, and then you load sub-programs as you go when you need them. Yeah, I hope this replies to the question.
Okay, there's another question.
Yeah.
So let's assume I have an application with another display and define serial protocol. Can I use 4D display as a drop-in replacement? How to modify your default serial protocol you just shown?
Okay, this would be possible with Designer and Visi. You have a serial port. You can, there are even samples about the serial communication. So let's go into, let's say, I think you need the Designer. Then, yes, serial comms, buffered, TX, and general serial, and com check. Can load this, and you can print something to the serial port. You can read from the serial port because you have two serial ports, and you can receive any serial character, and what algorithm you put there doesn't matter. Yeah, you can interpret whatever. If you have a specific protocol you have to keep, it's not compatible with 4D systems like you see the same as you've seen on the other display, but you could read it, and accordingly to what the host has sent or the other display has sent, you can interpret it and trigger the display you want to have. Yeah? Then it's coding. It's not done in Visi Genie or anything. This would be coding for the actual programmer. So, any other questions, or is this not replied?
Okay, there is one more question. Must it be default, or is there any IRQ?
An IRQ?
Yes.
IRQ?
Interrupt.
Ah, okay. So it's true. Yeah, you have to poll.
Okay. So this was my colleague because I have to run out. We already had more than 2 hours, but I'm back now.
Okay.
Okay, so no more questions now.
Yeah.
Okay, so your turn, Dario.
One more question was there. No, I'm
No.
I'm done basically with everything.
No. There's no another question.
Oh, okay, then we're done. If there are no
Okay.
more questions.
Okay. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, so you can write to contacts you have and our colleagues, or then also there is a special microsite about for the system at our website. We have a contacts there, so you can try any contact you find and you have, and we will answer. And if our technician is not able, so we will contact Dario and he will answer definitely all your questions.
Exactly, and even then, I have my contacts in the R&D department. For some real specific questions, I can even forward it. We have a great team. We're all working together. But whenever you have an inquiry, please don't forget that we're a globally working team, and we have team members in the US, in Europe, and in Australia, and even in New Zealand. And so we please give us some time, like sometimes even 48 hours or sometimes a bit more, to reply to your inquiries, because sometimes it just needs to go around the globe, this information, and we wake up and go to sleep in different times.
Okay, so hope everybody enjoyed this webinar. It was very interesting, and it was in technical deep what you always wanted to do such a webinar. Once again, thank you to Marco, to Dario from 4D Systems Europe. Thank you to all attendees, all people who joined us. Something to add, Mario, Dario or Marco?
There's one quick question. Yes, about the, I think Martin is asking whether you can download samples or demo projects from our website. Yes, all this stuff is available on our website. And after this webinar, you'll also receive kind of a list of the links and resources where you can find all the stuff you need.
I have to add something. The samples are already included in the IDE. You just install the IDE and you click here. My desktop is still sharing, I think. Yeah, so you just click here on samples, and then you select here your demo, your samples, yeah, environment. You open it, and then you can see already here are the examples everywhere here. Yeah, these are all examples. You can just load, and in many of those you will find as well yeah. I mean, you can just start them, and there are some commands. What's happening here? So here prologue, yeah, and then you just go through these, and then you can see here the Goldelox module, and then here's the code you have to do, yeah. So that's the examples, and it's all included in the IDE. You just need to download the IDE. There's no need for other software, anything. You just need to download the IDE, and everything else will be on the website and in app notes, yeah, for the application notes to download. And it doesn't hurt to check it more often, because we're constantly adding new application notes. We recently, we also work, we have colleagues in the Philippines. I actually didn't mention that earlier, but we also communicate with these guys, and the production is in the Philippines as well. So as said, the whole team around the globe is working on improving all 40 products round the clock. And for your products, I recommend you, when you want to add anything on data sheets, just select the product, and you can scroll down. You can see some specifications already here. But we also provide for every module a step model. We provide a simplified version. You can see here the 19 megabyte step file, 3.7 megabyte. Then you have a 3D PDF where you actually can load this module already. Hang on, we'll take just a moment. and then you can already turn this module. You can make measurements in the 3D PDF or in a step file, and it's not possible in sharing.
It doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
basically all the information is online, and if you have interest, or we hope you do after this, go download the workshop, play around with it, and then you know, get yourself one of the display module sets from SOS if you want to then make your project a reality, so to speak. So the first step is to really familiarize yourself with the Workshop 4 IDE, and then get yourself maybe one or two displays to experiment with.
Okay. Once again, thank you. There are two things I would like to add. So please fill a very short form, very short survey about how we did, what was good, what was bad at this webinar. One of you will get a programming cable from us for free. And another thing is that we are looking forward to meet everybody next Wednesday on the next webinar about the new excellent wireless technology, IQRF. We'll send to everybody all the promo details. So once again, thank you to everybody, and hope we'll meet very soon this virtual way. So once again, thank you and bye.
Thank you as well from 40 Systems for participating.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Have
Bye.
a great day, guys. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.